Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks Futures and Market Preview for the rest of the week. Welcome to the end of December. We had a little pop. The end of November. We had a little pop, so that's the end of the month, and statements are printed. Convenient for them, right? And here's a look at the ES front-month futures contract. The daily chart of the broad market and futures forum, as we always like to look at it. And as you can see, this gave us 12 up. So one more day up and we got a 13 sell signal, and we're approaching that static trend line. That's probably going to be your stall out point, but let's just see where we get to. So I would say let's get a positive day on Thursday, and then nothing really looks good from there. We were up because of some fairly calm comments out of Powell about interest rates and maybe like not raising them much more, and that caused a big spike in the market after what was completely dead day. I mean, we went 4 or 5 hours of just nothing, and then that suddenly happened. We'll look at the intraday action in a minute, but anyways, here's the ES. Let's look at the S&P cash, up 122 points. So broke through that static trend line there. The NASDAQ 100 up 526. Sounds like a big number. Doesn't look like much here, right? But is what it is. Still heading towards that green stack trend line. SOX up 156 points. Biotech's up 136 points. That's new highs almost on the biotechs. That's a breakout point. That's going to be the one thing that's interesting. If the biotechs actually do break out, that's going to keep some pressure on the market to the upside. Russell 2000 gains 50. Still looks like a blip lower, just under the mid-range of the year. Crude oil at 80.52. Again, this stuff's been down. I filled my tank up today, and it was pretty darn cheap. Gold up 28.3. So now gold decides to run. Now that rates are maybe not going to keep going up, gold decides to run. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 24.21, on the New York plus 21.37. It's 21.71. So again, a very positive day, but again, you'll see it in a minute. It was all very late on that news. NASDAQ volume, 6.6 billion shares, all late in the day. The VIX down $1.31 to 20.58. Now remember, we do have a 13 buy signal here on the VIX. Is what it is. The trend closes at 0.70, puts the 10-day moving average at 1.12. Apple up 6.86. Amazon up 4.12. Meta up 8.64. Again, these are going to look like big numbers because of the spike. It is what it is. But Meta being up. Okay, Google up $5.80. Goldman Sachs up $4.94. Very near the highs. This might be a breakout chart if we'll see about tomorrow. Netflix up 24.57. Oofta. Peloton up in 89 cents. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up 75 cents. Tesla up 13.87. Zoom up 4.86. Again, interesting, right? The VXX doesn't matter. NVIDIA up 12.88. Oof, big day up on NVIDIA. Bitcoin back to 17,000. Now let's look at the intraday action just so you can see it. We'll switch to 5-minute candles on the ES, and here's what happens. Yeah, see? Totally dead day. And then like 30 minutes before we come out of lunch, boom, Powell says something, and markets just run like a banshee. NASDAQ side's pretty much the same. So, is what it is. Wasn't really anything that you should have been expecting. It was kind of out of the blue, but does that mean everything's good? Again, we're getting near that 13 sell signal on the daily chart, so got to worry about that. In terms of economic data that's left for the week, and again, we're starting December now, so it's a new month. Here we got the final manufacturing PMI numbers around the world. Here in the U.S., we've got the core PCE price index, unemployment, the initial and continuing jobless claims numbers, personal income and spending. That's all at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Manufacturing PMI. Manufacturing PMI out of the U.S. at 9:45, and out of in the ISM manufacturing at 10, construction spending at 10, Ward's total vehicle sales at some point during the day, natty gas at 10:30, and then when you get to Friday, we've got the unemployment rate expected at 3.7, but the bigger number is the non-farm employment change, which is looking for a 200,000 job gain. We'll see what happens there. That's Friday morning. That'll wrap the week. In terms of the schedule, let's just take a look at this so we know what December looks like. Okay, let's talk about it. So we got the next 2 days are the start of December. That gets us to a weekend. We basically have 2 full weeks of no problem, and then another week that's almost no problem. Friday is the 23rd, so you got a full week with Christmas Eve on a Saturday, Christmas Day on a Sunday, and that means that we're closed on Monday the 26th for Christmas break. And that week, as we all know, that final week of the year is not worth trading for the most part. We'll be closed on Monday, open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but most of the big money's off. And then Friday, not much there heading into New Year's, but since New Year's is on the Sunday, we'll actually get a holiday on the 2nd, January 2nd, and the actual official year will start on Tuesday, January 3rd. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Thursday and Friday.